Hi, Laura. It's good to see you again. I would love to just kind of pick up where we left off from our last assessment. We talked about your background, your history, and the presenting problem that kind of brought you in. And I would just love to follow up to see where you're at today.
Okay, that sounds good.
So we talked about, you were feeling some low feelings and low energy and motivation. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I guess, chores around the house are just piling up and I don't know, just not motivated to do them. Ever since this move, it's just like an endless pile of to-do lists and I don't know, it's hard to get going, but I have school and deadlines, so it's like I'm able to meet the deadlines, but it's just last minute trying to push through, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So you're feeling like you're describe like the type of quality work you feel like you're doing with school right now. Like, do you feel like you're
Um,
kind of just pushing through, or you said you're meeting deadlines? Like, is that affecting your grades at all, or how you're completing the assignments?
um, it's like I'm able to get the things I need done and I'm doing well in school. It's
Hmm.
just around the house, just kind of sluggish, but I don't know. I guess just kind of fatigued too physically. I just don't really, I mean, I wake up in the morning and I just have my coffee, I just sit there and watch my
Hmm.
shows and I don't know. Sometimes I get a little bit motivated by like noon, I'll get up and start doing stuff maybe. I don't
Hmm.
know.
And so how frequent? How many times a week does that usually occur?
Pretty much every day. I mean, like 1 or 2 days a week, maybe I have something going on in the morning, like an appointment or something I have to get up for, but
Hmm.
other than that, it's just kind of just do my own kind of thing in the morning just to kind
Hmm.
of unwind.
Hmm. So you feel like that in order to do the things that you want to do in the afternoon, you need this type of kind of like preparation and just kind of like easing into the day. Um, and you do this daily. Is it something that you um, are like content about? Do you like the pace of how you spend your days, or is it something that you feel like you want to change?
I think I'm ready to change it. I definitely think I could be more productive. I mean, I have in the past. I mean, there, I don't know. Before this move, I feel like I was able to get stuff done. My house was organized and um it'd feel good to just, get some things off the list, I guess. So I
Hmm.
think I'm ready to definitely figure out some sort of way to move on and be able to get through, the day and be productive.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yes, it seems like you're in a state where you want change to happen, and you're kind of looking back on what it used to be and where you are today. Okay, I mean that's a great place to start, and I think like you have the right level of motivation to create the change that you need to change. What do you feel like you need in order to help stimulate those actions, those decisions to change?
That's a good question. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's missing. It's kind of, I mean, I can describe to you what I'm feeling, but I just
Hmm.
don't know what it's gonna take. It's like something's not there. I don't know what it is
Well,
yet.
yeah. Well, tell me about that feeling. Tell me what it is that you're feeling then.
It's kind of like just empty, just like another day. Here we go. Look
Hmm.
around. It's like, okay, here we go. Just the stress piling up. And, I try to unwind and do my own thing, but it's just, Um, I don't know. Nothing just seems to get done. It's
Yeah. So you wake up, you get your coffee, you can, you're in the house and you kind of visualize the things that you want to get done.
mhm.
And you're just kind of like, "Ugh." Is that kind of like the feeling?
That's exactly the feeling.
Is that
Just
exactly it?
like, just oh, I just gotta sit here and just like think and just unwind my brain, I guess.
What, tell me more about unwind the brain. What is that exactly?
I don't know. It's just kind of get in my own little world. Just kind of just maybe it's a distraction. Now that you mention it, I just kind of it's like think about other things, entertain my brain, you know? Sometimes I just want like something exciting to look at, think about, I don't
Hmm.
know. Maybe like my son's activities. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's something to distract, like think about and make sure he's taken care of, which is okay, I guess.
Hmm. Walk me through a morning routine for your family. And so, when you wake up, and so what is your son responsible for doing? What's kind of going on with your husband? Where's the family as the day gets rolling?
Yeah, so I guess like I pick up more so in the afternoon, and my husband does more in the morning. I mean, he gets up, he has work, but before he goes to work, he takes my son to school,
Hmm.
because he's up anyway. I usually wake up around the same time he's up. I just kind of sit in bed for like an hour, trying to, like, okay, this is what I need to do today. Think about it, scroll through my to-do list on my phone. Like, okay, it's a long day. Here we go. Like,
Hmm.
oh, just trying to get myself motivated to get going. And then I'll, have my get up and I make my husband breakfast and then I don't know, I just kind of get my coffee, sit in the chair, watch some shows.
Hmm.
And then in the afternoon, usually like before then, I'll like get out, go outside, like feed the animals and um I guess I don't know. It's probably start on like I have work stuff, so sometimes I prioritize that first over
Hmm.
school, trying to get work stuff done. And then I'll pick my husband or my son up from school. And then sometimes prepare supper. And yeah, I mean, by that time it's like, oh crap, where'd the day go?
Hmm.
I'm like,
Hmm.
I gotta do school. And it's like
Right.
there's not enough time in the day.
Do you end up finding yourself staying up later than you like to
Sometimes,
sometimes?
like lately, I just tired and I just go to bed
Hmm.
around definitely by 11. I'd say I try to
Hmm.
get into bed by because I'm just exhausted. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow, like
Hmm.
but sometimes I push my deadlines a little late and I stay up late, but I don't know, it doesn't have happen too much, but
Hmm.
sometimes
Okay.
I get to that point.
Yeah. So like your average time is 11 o'clock, like maybe is it 10 to 11 range? Would that be right? Or like a 11 to noon, 11 to midnight range?
Oh, I'd say like noon to like maybe 10 p.m. I'm feeling a little bit motivated, like I'm able to
Hmm. Hmm.
do stuff or I have to do stuff, I guess.
Right. Yeah, things kind of like speed up a little bit in the afternoon, it sounds like. Yeah,
Yeah.
for you, like so you're thinking about, okay, now I have to think about dinner, I got to feed the animals, you know, um, my son's got to get picked up from school, and like all these things kind of move, and you're like, oh, I got to do schoolwork, and so it kind of like rolls quickly at the end of
Mhm.
the day, and then you wake up at the start of the day, and you're just kind of like, is it still the feelings of the day before, or would you say it's the feelings of like just waking up in the day?
the same every morning. It's just
Same
waking
every
up
morning.
and same feeling, same routine, just blah, here we are, another day, look around my house. There's so much to do. Like, the
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
here we go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. There some ideas that I kind of have, and I'm wondering if you'd be willing to think about this or explore, is we have some tools of assessments, and I'm not going to get into the exact details of them right now, but there are assessments that we can kind of like do together and some things that you can fill out on your own. And these tests can take either 20 minutes to fill out or they can take up to 45 minutes. They can be as detailed as we want them to be. But some of these assessments and skills can, or inventories, they can be helpful with identifying for us like what we're actually feeling. And kind of like in your case, you know what you're feeling, but you don't know the why. So, it's some of these assessments can maybe help target the areas of where we're feeling the lowest, where we're feeling the most competent in our day to day. So would that be something that you'd be interested in? Like if I was to hand you an assessment and you could fill it out over the week.
I don't like tests. I'd rather not. Like, it's just not for me. I don't like them.
You
I'd
don't
rather
like
just
tests?
talk about
Yeah,
them.
yeah, totally get that. Like you rather just talk about what it is you're feeling, rather talk about the issue. Um, could I ask you with one more follow-up question with that? What test are you thinking about when you say test? Like, are you like what is coming to your mind? Because we talked about your education background a little bit. Like, what is it about tests
Mhm.
that you don't like?
Ugh, I don't like being forced to do them. They're just formality that I just want to avoid. It's just the pressure, and I never do good on them. So it's it's like, what's the point? Like, I don't know. I'd rather just talk
Yeah,
about it. I had plenty of those in school. I'm just done with tests.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like you'd rather not do it. What's the point? Um, some of the things with like your experience with testing, it sounds like you didn't like being forced to do something. Sounds like you didn't like the evaluation of like what the tests were to represent educationally. And I think like I really appreciate you saying that because I think that gives a really solid framework of you expressing what you're feeling. And we will never do something that you will feel forced to do. And even the invitation of talking about these assessments, we can revisit at a later time if you feel more prepared to talk about it some more. Because what these assessments do is it's not so much exploring what's the right or wrong answers, and you're not graded on the performance of the test. But what these assessments can be helpful in doing is helping narrow down. It kind of like puts these pieces of a puzzle together where maybe like the jigsaw is like scattered on the floor and all the pieces are there and there's nothing about you that would change after taking a test, but it would help put some of the pieces together so that when we both look at it now, it's not a doesn't feel jumbled on the floor. There's a few pieces that are put together and those can create starting points for us um, as we continue talking about your motivations for the day and where you're feeling low and how to help target um, treatment goals. And so you will, I will never ask you to do something that you feel forced to do. So me saying all of that about assessments, how do you feel about how I presented it? Like same, maybe a little bit more optimistic, or you're more discouraged about taking a test?
Um, I don't know. I guess it I could see the puzzle pieces helping, if that's what we need, but I don't know why it has to be in that format. Like, why can't we just talk about it? Like, I don't get,
Hmm.
like, I don't know. You could just ask me anything. I'll just tell you. I mean,
Hmm.
it just, I don't know. I don't like the pressure. And you say assessments, like how many? Like, is it going to be
Hmm.
all the whole hour? Oh, that's just like exhausting.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally feel that what you're expressing, and thank you for your honesty and your transparency. And we will make a further note of this. And so we will continue to talk. And I've always appreciated your honesty, and you've answered every question that I have ever asked with honesty, whether you know or don't know. And I just really appreciate that about you, Laura. And we'll just save this conversation for another time. But um, as we kind of near the end of this brief session, I just wanted to say is I just appreciate your honesty, and your feedback is really important to me. And you won't be pressured to take any test you don't want to take, and that's no
Thank you.
pressure at all. Yeah,
Feel much
absolutely.
better. Okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Laura. We'll be in touch. We'll visit soon.
Okay. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's
Okay.
keep recording for feedback. I think so, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, what identify one or two areas of strength from the session?
I feel understood that you repeated back what I said about like my feelings about the test, just being exhausting, like just all the things I'm worried about the test. You repeated back, and that helped me feel understood and heard.
Hmm.
Um, so, and then respecting my autonomy and me just being able to control that decision and not be forced. I didn't feel like I was forced into a corner, and so that helped. What responses had a positive impact? I kind of mentioned those. What
Hmm.
responses were facilitative? Um, I think you mentioning what the tests were about and the puzzle piece thing really made my brain click on like, okay, that makes sense. Maybe there's some information that you use that I'm just not aware of, on a test. And
Hmm.
that helped me like visualize what you're doing and why we have to do it. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. He's looking for some sort of information. So that helped
Hmm.
put things in an understandable perspective for me.
Hmm.
Um, one or two areas of growth, or responses were not accurate to what you were experiencing. I think the responses were accurate. What responses broke connection? I felt the connection. What responses were not facilitative? I think like maybe just like saying thank you was nice, but um like just maybe not so many thank yous. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
good.
Like so like thank you for this. And I was like, okay, that's good. Like I'm helping him out, but I don't know what I'm helping. Like
Yeah,
I guess it's just more about like what is helping me, I guess, but you kind of went into a lot of that.
totally. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's good feedback. Thank you.
yeah, that's a small one, but yeah, overall, it was like the way you worded things really helped me feel heard, and how the session felt, how present the counselor felt, nonverbal. I think your nonverbal was, oh, there's a moment where you just like pretty much you visually did how I felt. Like you're like,
Hmm.
like, and that really was like, okay, he gets it. Like that
Hmm.
is really how I feel in this moment is like just the exhaustion, like shoulders down, like just like I just gotta unwind. And that really
Hmm.
helped me feel heard as well.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Great. Well done. We did it.
Mhm.
Okay, stop recording. I really appreciate the feedback. And yeah, and I'll just kind of say this as a self-disclosure too. I kind of felt like I did a counseling session for my practicum this last week, and I did like there's a moment where I kind of like stopped and I was doing like I was doing an assessment with someone actually, um and I just paused and I took a moment and I thanked the person for like their honesty, and it came across, actually kind of like how you said, it's like it came across as a please good thing. Like I'm like,
Small
thank
thing.
thank you for making me feel good, or like thank you
Yeah.
for like making this a good connection.
Mhm.
And I like that like breach of like neutrality almost. Yeah, so it kind of, it came up this last session. So it's like I was like, oh, that's really accurate feedback to include that even in this role play. So
Yeah.
yeah. So